How are you feeling? How long have you been here?
3 months, May 17th.
And what brought you here?
That's difficult to answer.
Some idea.
I am not completely like other people.
What do you mean by that?
People dislike me because I am not completely like them. I am trying to do with my life something which few people try to do, and this influences my thinking and consequently my actions.
What is it you're trying to do with your life?
Play the piano for people.
I'm not clear. How is it that playing the piano for people has eventually resulted in your being here in the hospital?
That's difficult to answer.
is the end. There's a noise inside my head of crying people facing death. Is this the end? Is this the end? I'm burning in the stone. There's no place to hide. I'm burning in the stone. What have we done to the world? What have we done to the world? I'm burning in the stone. There's no place to hide. I'm burning in the stone. This is the final
James Lindsay is obsessed with lying to his audience. Well, crazy things can he get them to believe? He does it irresponsibly to pocket all that money from the mills for liberty. The left hates capitalism, but James won't admit it. He refuses to believe queer theory destabilizes normativity, gender binary, and the nuclear family. James blocks the truth, smears people who try to show him, creates an echo chamber for himself to reinforce his fantasy. He used to believe in something, what happened? Mills for liberty. Gnostic sex cult, building his own world, and Gnostic sex cult, unhinged from reality, totally lost it. What can we do but mock him relentlessly? It's not a Gnostic sex cult, James. No, it's not. Stop lying to your audience. No, it's not. It's not Gnostic change. Mary Nardini tells us queer liberation means the annihilation of capitalism. Catch up, James. Whiteness means capitalism. Queer theory hates capitalism. Whiteness means capitalism. Queer theory hates capitalism. Whiteness means capitalism. It's all about capitalism. Everyone knows it's capitalism. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. Whoa. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. It's all about capitalism. Everyone knows it's capitalism. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. It's capitalism. To pocket all that money from the mills for liberty. The left hates capitalism, but James won't admit it. He refuses to believe queer theory stabilizes normativity, gender binary, and the nuclear family. But James blocks the truth, smears people who try to show him, creates an echo chamber for himself to reinforce his fantasy. To believe in something stalk him relentlessly.
Piper, change, take the receiver. Your life to millions, you're why we lose.
Piper, James, great deceiver. You're living in delusion and you're why we lose. James Lindsay spinning tails, got a fantasy in play, pocketing that cash while he's leading minds astray. Mills for liberty, he's cashing in the bucks, but his logic's out of whack, man, it's all just muck. Left hates capitalism, he's blind to the facts. Queer theories misunderstood, it's a different attack. Destabilizing norms, breaking down the walls, but James blocks the truth, man, he's lost in the halls. Piper, James, great deceiver. Your lies are weak, we're calling out the truth. Piper, James, great deceiver. You steal from us, yet you're still deluded. Echo chamber stick, it's a bubble of deceit. While he's pocketing the green, we're exposing the cheat. Leonardini drops the mask with a bang. Where liberation means capital limits, that's the goal. Stop blocking the truth, James, open up your eyes. Our theories misunderstood, capitalism's a pride. Destroying the old norms, shaking up the scene. Face up to reality, stop the serial line. James, great deceiver. Your lies are weak, we're calling out the truth. Piper, James, great deceiver. You steal from us, yet you're still deluded.
Echo chamber stick, up the limit.
Whiteness, capitalism, it's all intertwined. Queer theory's the lens, but you're way behind. Liberation means capitalism's gone. The lies will cost us the war, that's the price. No property, no house, no business, no money, no parents, no rights, no life for us all. Socialist reality built on your lies. Piper, James, great deceiver. Parents follow your advice, kids pay the price. Piper, James, great deceiver. You hold up the gun, cover the retribution. Piper, James, great deceiver. Your life to millions, you're why we lose. Piper, James, great deceiver. You're living in delusion and you're why we lose. He's calling out cults and conspiracies wild, Gnostic sex cults and theories compiled. But one question's raised and it's blocked on the spot. No room for dissent in the world he's got. But the crowd starts to laugh and they're starting to see a whole lot of words that just don't agree. Oh, Emperor James, are you feeling the breeze? Might wanna look down, see what's caught at the knee. He's the Emperor with no clothes, strutting around like nobody knows, shouting loud. yeah, with no disguise. Slipped down by his own price. The fat is an intellectual line. Oprah's got mind control, powers divine. He's calling Saint Michael the devil in charge, and telling the Catholics they got it too large. Oh James, don't you know it's a tricky game when you're calling out folks but you're doing the same. You say it's the truth only you understand, but the crowd's got a mirror showing just where you stand. He's the emperor with no clothes, strutting around like nobody knows, shouting loud, thinking he's wise, but he's bearing it all to everyone's eyes. He's the emperor, yeah, with no disguise, slipped down by his own pride. Start to fade and the truth comes around. His theories unravel like threads on the ground. The court starts to giggle, the people all cheer, for the emperor's naked, the truth's finally here. He's the emperor with no clothes, strutting around like nobody knows, shouting loud, thinking he's wise, but he's bearing it all to everyone's eyes. He's the emperor, yeah, with no disguise, slipped down by his own pride. So here's to the lesson, let's give it a toast to emperors walking in nothing but boast. Join Karlyn's cult and open your eyes. She's here to expose James's epic lies.
Well, happy September, guys. It is officially September 1st. That's a little crazy. It's Labor Day. We're probably going to have some protests later. That'll be great. But, you know, it's midnight 30 on Labor Day. And I'm live on the internet. So why the it's so weird. I feel like time doesn't exist in my office sometimes. Like, I actually feel right now like it could be 5 o'clock. But it's not. It's after midnight. So why the fuck are we live, Karlyn? What happened? You know what? This isn't my fault. It's not my fault. Ain't my fault. I was settling in for movie night. Because as you guys know, we do movie nights on Sundays and Mondays in my supporter Discord. And we were watching American Pie tonight for movie night. And I had a whole project I wanted to do while we were watching the movie. And I was settling in, and then... I'm not drinking, it's just water. And then I saw a message from Stony Baloney, aka Master Shake, in our chat. And he said, "Hey Karlyn, James and Frank are going live on the internet in 20 minutes." And I was like, "Excuse me, what? Is it Christmas? Is it my birthday? Is it Valentine's Day? Is it Halloween? Is it the 4th of July? Is it all rolled into one? Like, James and Frank are live on the same stream with an open chat. And P.S., it's not on a very popular channel, so it's going to be really easy for us to take over the chat. I've done something right. The universe has opened. The clouds have parted. The sun is shining down. The universe has opened, and it is all shining upon me because I have very obviously and clearly done something correct today. And God, all-powerful being, the one true energy source, whatever you want to call it, God was smiling on me today when exactly the moment that all of us were gathering in my Discord, because it really was a twist of fate. We were all getting together for movie night anyway. We were a whole bunch of us sitting around in a Discord, and we were waiting for movie night to start, and then Master Shake, this is all his fault. Master Shade comes in and is like, hey guys, these two people who are nightmares on the internet are going to be at a live stream together in 20 minutes. Do you guys want in? And I was like, yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. And so I think Jennifer might have been a little pissed, but I feel like we honored movie night. We still watched the movie. We still listened to the trivia. There was good conversation around movie night. I'm just saying that while Jennifer was hosting movie night, which she does expertly and which we appreciate her so much for, there may have been several of us in the chat of the live stream that James and Frank just did together with a couple other people who I don't even really know who they are. They know me though. Everyone, can I just tell you guys? It is the weirdest thing that there are people on the internet that know, well, they know of me and they think they know me and they think they understand me. And it's just like, they're so crazy and unhinged about me. And I'm just like, bro, I don't even know who the fuck you are. Like, I genuinely, like, I literally don't even know who the fuck you are. But you seem to be really seething about me. And I don't know why that is, because I've never spoken to you. And, but okay. I never done nothing to you. I never spoken to you. But you're real pissed at me about something, bro. I don't know where the fuck that accent came from or even what that accent was. Yeah, well, I got blocked and then I went in on under another account. I may indeed have more than one account on YouTube. Who knew? So a bunch of us went in the chat. And as soon as a bunch of us went in the chat, yeah. Well, I knew about that though. I knew about that, and I'm betting you what happened is because I had a fine conversation when Isaiah Carter first came out and was like, oh, I am leaving the left because of blah, 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 whatever. I had a fine little back and forth with him in a DM, and I didn't say anything bad about him, and then all of a sudden he blocked me and he made this post shitting on me, and I was like, literally, dude, we've exchanged 2 DMs. Why the fuck are you shitting on me? But like, I didn't really care that much because, like, who the fuck is he, really? I didn't really even care. But what I think happened is Carrie, as she did with everyone, because that's what happened back then. Every time someone was talking to me, Carrie Smith would slide into their DM saying, did you know, and baby, and it's kind of like the IQ test. It's the IQ test every single day, because it's like, are you smart enough to have discernment to understand what's going on? Well, Isaiah Carter is a retard. That guy's a retard. That guy has always been a retard. And he's like a pompous retard with like hubris. So he's like the very definition of like the Dunning-Kruger effect in action. And so, of course, like Isaiah Carter, you know, was like, I was warned about her. It's like, okay, grow the fuck up. Grow the fuck up. Man. Anyway, so tonight, and we're going to watch some of this because we can. They did a stream about me, but it wasn't really about me, but they made this entire stream about me. Now, the stream has only gotten 140 views. It's very sad. Isaiah Carter is very popular on Twitter, as you know, but apparently that doesn't translate into YouTube numbers, because my stream here has already gotten more views than Isaiah Carter's stream, and I've only been live on the internet for like 20 minutes. And so, I mean, I think that's just too bad for him. But they made this entire stream about me, guys. They were talking, like, I've got the live chat up too because the chat was popping. They were trying to talk, they were shit talking me the entire stream. And I was like, literally, we're just here asking you guys questions about capitalism. Why can't you say capitalism? Why don't you know what the left's definition of capitalism is? And all that stuff. And, you know, maybe I got a little trolly too. But before we start the stream, I want to show you Isaiah Carter's Twitter account. And so, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. So, he's got his live stream here. He's got his live stream. And after he figured out that we were in his chat... Oh, hang on. After he figured out that we were in his chat, he issued a public apology for the chat. But do you know what's so funny about this? Isaiah Carter has 146,000 followers. No one cared. Literally no one cared. He has 5 hearts and 2 comments. No one cared. And both of the comments are from Murphy's Pool. Both of the comments are from Murphy's Pool. Wow, Isaiah. Wow. Wow. All those followers, Isaiah, and you couldn't get anyone to be interested in me taking over the chat on your YouTube video, bro? That's just sad, Isaiah. That's just sad. But we can scroll up because they had more feelings about me. Here he is saying, fuck that bitch. Well, no, Isaiah. No. No, thank you. No, thank you. I decline. In fact, Isaiah was so pissed off. Actually, I have to show you this on my Twitter feed. Isaiah got so pissed off at us during this stream. He got so pissed off at us asking questions that he couldn't answer and that he didn't want James to answer. He got so pissed off at us. I'm going to show you what he said. Isaiah Carter, classical liberal, said, I know I will fuck Karlyn. No, bro. No, you will never fuck me. You might dream of fucking me. You might fantasize about fucking me, but you will never fuck me. And do you know why, Isaiah? It's not just that you're an arrogant, low IQ asshole. It's also that you're black. I just, like, I have to be honest. I've only ever liked white guys, so I'm very sorry, but I decline. The answer is no. I know that you all really get off on me, so much so that you Freudian slipped in your own fucking chat when you said, I know I will fuck Karlyn. No. No. Nope. So he continued to have more feelings there. And then Frank was tweeting about me. Did you see this? Frank, the very first thing that Frank McCormick does when he gets off this stream is what... See, listen. These are like... In their minds, these are great intellectuals of the internet, okay? You've got black midwit moron Isaiah Carter. You've got that guy with the beard whose name I don't even know. You have queer classical liberal off his psychiatric medication Frank McCormick. And you have the continually, perpetually spiraling woke right asshole James Lindsay. These are like great minds of the internet, according to them, right? And so you would have thought that these great minds, they would come together and they would have a really intellectually stimulating conversation, right? You would think that they would talk about really important things because, of course, in their minds, again, they are the great fucking minds of the internet. So you think they would have something incredibly important to talk about, new insights that people haven't thought of before, new perspectives that haven't been considered. You would think that that's what we were walking into, right? No. The moment that Frank McCormick got off the stream with the other 3 morons of the internet, the very first thing he does is post about me. And post about me being the best part of the entire stream. Yes, Frank. Yes, for once you are correct. I was literally the best part of the entire stream. I am the main fucking character in your guys' story. Do you guys know how fucking pathetic you are? I am the main character in your story, and all I had to do was show up and send a few questions in the chat. That was it. I am so in your guys' fucking head. I haven't even been trying to be in your guys' head. I gave up on you idiots months and months and months and months and months ago because I decided to start focusing on real things and build a consulting business where, unlike James and his bullshit, I actually do give people advice and guidance about the left and all sorts of good stuff. So I decided to go do something on the side that none of you fucking know about because you're just dicking around on Twitter all day. And even still, with me ignoring most of your guys' bullshit, I am still the main character in your fucking story. Isn't that crazy? Like, listen, man, I know I'm one fiery bitch, but I don't know how I do this to people. I really don't. I don't mean to trigger people this badly. I don't mean to say one thing that just embeds itself in a person's psyche and they end up permanently triggered by me forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Frank's proudest moment of the night is he called me fat, guys. Guys, did you know that Frank McCormick thinks I'm fat? Did you know that Frank McCormick thinks I'm so fat that Frank McCormick literally has an iPhone full of AI images that he's made about me where he can call me fat and ugly over and over? This is his proudest moment. Did you guys know that Frank is a teacher? These are the people this is the problem with public schools. They hire anyone as teachers, even if those teachers' most intellectual thing that they can do is to call someone fat. And you know what the other thing is? That was the only argument they had against us the entire stream. That was it. You're going to see in the chat, this moron with the beard that's no one has ever heard of, this guy in the chat over and over and over and over and over again was like, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat. And it's just like, oh my God. Who believes that this is acceptable behavior for the intellectual minds of the internet to engage in? I have broken these people permanently. I live permanently, rent-free, right in the middle of their fucking heads. When I'm not even trying to. You know what? With great power comes great responsibility. I always forget how powerful I am. I always forget how powerful I am energetically. I know this. I've known this my entire life. I know that I can really knock people on their ass. I know that I get in people's heads. I know all this. But I just like, it still boggles my mind when it happens all the time. It really does. It boggles my mind. Anyway, do you guys want to watch the stream? Wait, hang on. I have something else to show you. Hang on. So they said that. Where was the other thing? Oh, this is when, guys, so there were like 20 people watching this stream on YouTube, right? And at least 15 of them were with me. There was only and people that were there can attest to this. There were only 20 people max watching live on YouTube on Isaiah's channel. So between all three of them, between Isaiah, Frank, and James, they have what? Almost 750,000 followers? 20 people showed up for the live stream on YouTube. But they're saying, oh no, look, Karlyn, look, we had 14,000 people watching on our live stream. No, you didn't. Do you know how those numbers work? Let me explain to you how those numbers work just for the uninitiated, because again, that fat moron with the beard thinks he can get one over on us because he's not very smart. Let me explain to you how those work. Those are Twitter numbers. Those are basically every single person who has seen the tweet with the live stream. It doesn't matter if they've engaged with the stream or not. It doesn't matter if they're in the live chat on Twitter or not. Every single person who sees the tweet, just if it just scrolls down their stream, that counts as a number in that statistic. So what they're really saying is they all kept retweeting the space, and James has 500,000 followers. And so what that means is 14,000 people saw the live stream. Now let's actually go to his live stream numbers. Let's actually look. Let's actually take a look at this. What were his actual live stream numbers if we go into the tweet? Let's look. Let's look. Okay, so the tweet so they're saying it got 16,000 views, 8 comments, and 79 likes. That's a pretty low ratio. And I'm going to tell you this too. When they said on the live stream, they were like, we're getting tens of thousands of views on Twitter. I was like, oh yeah? I went over to their live stream on Twitter. I chatted in on it on my Queer Marxism account just because it happened to be the account I was logged in on. I chatted into the live chat. I said, is there anyone else here? One person answered, and that person was in my audience. And so I just have to say, I'm really impressed, gentlemen. I'm really impressed that between all of your thousands and thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of Twitter followers, you were able to get 149 views on this stream. And we already have almost double that on my stream. So you're welcome. And by the way, we owned the entire chat. There was no one in the chat that wasn't there. Like, if we hadn't been there, they would have had no one in the chat. Because you know who showed up during the stream? Carrie, obviously. And fat-ass Jill showed up as well. And so, of course, they weren't in the chat because they care about any of these people. They were in the chat because of me. That's the only reason they were there. I'm the main character in all their fucking stories. So, do you guys want to see the brilliant stream? We're just going to watch some of it. We're not going to watch all of it. Just as I was about to go to bed to the cause. Thank you. Yes, Vish showed up. Vish Burra showed up, and they were trolling him too. Vish is we're all on the same team now. We stand for Vish. I don't care that Vish is Indian. I don't even care. He's cool. He makes funny jokes. I like him. He's ragging on James. I love it. We are on Team Vish for sure. Okay. Let's watch, and we've got the chat up so you guys can see how the chat happened as well. Let's enjoy. Oh gosh.
Yeah. License to do this. It's
I appreciate that.
Listen, after the last,
we're gonna fast forward a little bit. We're gonna fast forward until we start seeing people show up in the chat. Hopefully they didn't ban everyone yet.
Who are both great friends.
Oh, come on. When did we show up?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, here we go.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big old sword.
See, there I am.
Learn something new every night. Wow.
I got a pair of nunchucks back here. Maybe
Oh,
not quite as cool, but you can see him over there. The little brown thing.
We aren't going to watch the whole thing.
Yeah. So if we ever need to
give
form
us
the
a little
fucking Ninja
demo.
Turtles or something, I will right now. I'll do it right now. Let's see.
Wow.
No,
Yeah,
sorry.
man.
Oh, yeah.
So also,
Hang on a second. I'll do it right now.
oh, you got it?
Now, remember, guys, we weren't supposed to be there. They could have just ignored us and had the conversation that they were going to have, right? So I want everyone to keep in mind, these are the great intellectuals of the internet in their minds.
Okay.
That's
you go.
awesome.
Oh,
It's been a minute since I've.
oh,
Look at him twirling them.
There we go.
Oh, he's going.
He's got it. Oh,
Yeah, but
They
can you
have
play ping
nunchucks.
pong like the AI with it?
oh my God. That's a thing?
Well, there's a fake video where they
at
did
that, man.
Bruce Lee playing ping pong with the nunchucks, but
Good
it's
thing I
like-
forgot. Good thing I remember to wear my shorts.
That's hilarious.
Usually I do this podcast.
Wait, hang on. I need to see this guy standing up again. Hang on.
Oh my God. That's a
Hang on.
thing?
Hang on. Okay. We're going to take a picture of this. Hang on. This guy looks like he has tits and a belly and maybe, you know, it looks like there's a nice bulge. I'm not saying a bulge in a good way. I'm saying a belly and like one of those bellies that kind of goes over the belt is what I'm saying. Now, normally I don't give a fuck what people weigh. Normally I don't give a flying fuck. But this guy spent the entire chat calling me fat. And isn't it always the case Listen, I fucking admit that I could lose weight, and I could lose weight if I want to. I just don't fucking care. I don't personally care. Like, I don't care. But you guys seem to. And every time one of you guys seems to spend all your time talking about my weight, you've always got a belly of your own, don't ya? Huh. Funny how that works. Every single time. Okay. Good confirmation.
Well, there's a fake video where they
at
did
that, man.
Bruce Lee playing ping pong with the nunchucks, but
Good
it's
thing I
fake.
forgot. Good thing I remember to wear my shorts.
That's hilarious.
Usually I do this podcast commando.
You could have been bringing the receipts on your claim about your holy underwear.
Hey, man, people just need to have faith that that's a fact.
So,
Dude, it's summer. That's called air conditioning. It's okay.
I got Croc underwear.
The great intellectuals of the internet.
Also joining
ladies
us
and
tonight.
gentlemen.
Sorry, Frank.
Another great.
Frank's just waiting in the wings or bullshit.
Follow this.
Yeah.
We also want to welcome here for the first time to Apostate Radio someone I've known for several years. He is someone who was unfortunately a casualty of the woke
This
era.
motherfucker talking shit. Master Shake. Look at you.
Really?
Far too many man boos for one stream, man.
Oh my God.
Master Shake! Master Shake trolls them in the chat, tells them all they have man boobs, and Isaiah Carter posted it on the screen. Just, can we all salute Master Shake for that one? I think that was just like a really epic.
The fuck.
Just sit there and fap, you little bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Like anyway. Oh my God.
I'll make him jiggle for you.
No. Like, what do you want?
Oh goodness.
Woke centrist boobage.
Is already unhinged.
Wait. Please let my clipping tool work. Please work. I was using it all day. Clipping tool, I believe in you. Come on, clipping tool. Come on. Yes! Fuck yes. Yes.
For the first time to Apostate Radio, someone I've known for several years. He is someone who was unfortunately a casualty of the woke
This
era.
motherfucker talking shit. Master Shake. Look at you.
Really?
Far too many man boos for one stream, man.
Oh my God. The fuck.
Just sit there and fap, you little bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Like anyway. Oh my
I'll make him jiggle for you.
God.
No. Like, what do you want?
Oh goodness.
Woke centrist boobage.
Is already unhinged.
I'm
Must just
glad
take
we
my
got
shirt
some
off.
haters. I'm glad we got some haters in there. That's
Yeah,
funny.
hey, I love.
Thank you. Thank you for that clip that I will use. We'll put that in storage, James, along with all the other clips. There were so many good James clips from this stream, by the way. James said the greatest things that we can take out of context. James, I think, at one point said, like, black people were, like, he was insulting black people. I was like, oh, shit, James is being racist? Ooh.
Love it. I love it. I knew this was going to be a big show.
It's fun. It's
A
funny.
big show.
Love it.
Let me bring up this gentleman here.
A big show. A big show. You had 150 views, and most of them were from us.
An unfortunate casualty of the woke era. Someone who quite literally lost his job as a teacher. Okay, been an educator for several years. Oh my God in heaven! You know what? Look at this here. You know what? Can you believe this?
Remember, guys, Frank McCormick has made countless AI photos insulting my looks. This is Frank McCormick getting all dolled up to be on a stream on the internet. He thinks he looks good right now. That's what Frank looks like. Yes.
Hold on a second.
What happened?
The comment section just got 330 pounds heavier. With Dr. Karlyn Borysenko as
No.
the center of her
She's here?
mass is just in all the comments. They're orbiting around
Oh,
her.
this is great. I
She
love
still
it.
exists. I thought she died.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
my God.
James. No. I didn't die, James. I didn't die. What I did was choose to disengage entirely so I could focus on teaching people about the left. And in the several months that I haven't been engaging with you, James, guess what? My community is bigger than ever. I have more of your former listeners than ever because you continue to unhinge down your woke-right bullshit brigade. And guess what happened, James? When you kept insulting Christians and you kept complaining about Nazis and the woke right, your audience that was following you to cover the left, they found me, James. Do you want to know why they found me? Because I was actually covering the left when the fucking riots started. Unlike you, who were screaming about Nazis on the internet. So I didn't die, James. I took your fucking audience. I took your audience and I made them my supporters, and I continue to do it every single time you tweet about Nazis. So you guys can call me fat all you want. You can call me Shrek all you want. You can call me ugly. I don't give a fuck. Do you want to know why? You got 150 views on a YouTube stream between all of you, and I took your audience and made them my supporters. You're welcome.
God.
I'm not. I'm honestly not sure who she is, but
Wait.
We're gonna have dueling stalkers in there before the end of the night.
God.
We've been raided.
oh shit, we're getting
They've been
swatted over here.
raided.
Jordan's here.
They're
Jordan's
such
here.
fucking
Yeah, my
boomers.
boy.
Oh, what's up, Jordan? All right, Jordan.
Dude, yeah. Oh man. Listen.
Tell everybody to chill in that chat, Jordan.
Yeah, exactly.
Regulate in there.
This is crazy. This is crazy. Frank, how are you, dude?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm all right. When you since James has been here before, he's introduced himself to our audience. Not the crazies in the chat.
We
the
own
swatters and the botters
entire chat.
that are in the chat.
Oh, yeah, the botters. Guys, later in the stream, they insinuated that every single person that was supporting me was a bot. They said this over and over and over again. They said everyone was bot. First they said that everyone was Nazis, and then they said that everyone was bots, and we were all bought and paid for by Iran. I swear to God.
But you, sir, please tell our audience who you are, what you're about, and what has brought you here to this point.
Yeah, I was a public school teacher for about 11 years, and
This is the person insulting my looks all the time. We're going to be able to get so many good screenshots of him. We're going to be able to get so many good screenshots of him. Look at all these screenshots that we can get to use on memes. Look at this. See, Frank, this is what happens when you actually go on video on the internet. You know this because you assholes do this to me all the time. You look for that exact right screenshot in all of my streams that you can use. Guess what, buddy? We can do exactly the same thing to you. And someone should teach you how to put some powder on your face, Frank, because you're real shiny and sweaty, and that's not going to be a good look. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Can someone take a screenshot of that right now? We're definitely going to use that. Misakan is going to have a field day with that one, Frankie. Well, as we all know, Frank is queer. Frank is a contributor to a website called Queer Majority. Queer Majority is a website that promotes queer Marxism. So I don't think anyone should be surprised. You know, Frank is gender nonconforming and literally supports queer ideology. Anyway, we can go back and listen to him. We'll get all those great screenshots later, Frankie. Yeah, new soy jack just dropped.
Please tell our audience who you are, what you're about, and what has brought you here to this point.
Well, that's a good question for James.
yeah, I was a public school teacher for about 11 years, and in 2021, I started a blog called Chalkboard Heresy. I was just kind of like wanting to vent and talk about kind of the ideological capture that was going on in schools. James was at the time a really great resource, and something I always like to credit him with is, I started off with like 100 followers, and I was like messaging him like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, and like maybe I should go public, and he was like, go for it. So I did, and I didn't intend to, go as hard against my school district initially. I was just kind of talking generally, and then the emails started pouring out, and
We're gonna fast forward
the conversations with
because
administrators.
this is boring. This whole
Verbal
conversation was
no,
so
listen, it
fucking
was
boring.
We really focus heavily on like school safety.
Oh yeah, okay. I want to know what
Trying
Frank.
to
I want to know what
really,
job Frank has.
Freedom Summit this summer.
Hang on.
Local, and my focus is still in education. I'm the executive director of a local oversight group called Parents Care, and we just started a non-for-profit, Americans for School Oversight. We were at the Teacher Freedom Summit this summer, and
So Frank doesn't have a job. This is what I thought. This is why I thought Frank was spending all his time on Twitter. He used to be a teacher. He obviously was not capable of being a teacher anymore because he is an unhinged psychopath. He doesn't have an actual job. Got it.
going to be doing some more events, and we're trying to really
They don't have jobs.
Team of a couple other dads are really trying to bring this idea of like local grassroots oversight over school districts across the country, and hopefully we're going to set up some more of these kind of groups. It's not a chapter type organization where you have a brand and a chapter. We kind of go under the shadows and help people develop their own organic groups. And
So what Frank is saying is he hangs out with a couple of guys and they talk about stuff, but there's no formal organization because it's not a real job. Frank can shit on me all he wants. I have two organizations. I have Red Menace Media, which is my journalism and my Substack and my YouTube channel and all that. And I also have, and Decode the Left is under that. And then I also have the Center for Left-Wing Studies, which is actually getting donations and has a structure and all that stuff. So Frank can shit on me because this is what they like to say. They're like, Karlyn doesn't have a real job. I do have a real job, motherfucker. I teach people about the left, and I'm paid by people to do so through my Red Menace Media organization, and also trying to fund a nonprofit to actually do archival work. So Frank has a couple guys that he sits around with and talks. Got it. Okay.
we focus, even though I got my start kind of in this arena of talking about the ideological side, we really focus heavily on like school safety, sex abuse, grooming,
where's your work?
Transparency, finances, the amount of
Where's your
taxes
work?
people are paying in our school district. It's like $53K per student.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, they hide a lot of that in the report cards. They don't put in like capital expenses, debt service, operational expenditures.
Does Frank have any
So when you
link
see,
on
like,
his Twitter?
22,000 or something, it's just
Betting
like
he doesn't.
instruction and teachers and curriculum. And when you put in all those hidden costs, and this is stuff a lot of people don't know, so we're really hoping to like, help everyone across the country be able to kind of do this. Like
No link
we
on his
found, like,
Twitter.
when you bring oversight at the community,
So he's sitting around with a couple guys and they're talking.
now, and that's kind of wait.
Lots to make fun of there, man.
Yeah.
By the way, Frank had his microphone settings all fucked up so that you can barely hear him. Frank's microphone volume is his own fault. People were yelling at him from the chat the entire time. We were like, turn up your microphone volume. So everyone else is going to be significantly louder than Frank. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. He's a retard. Okay?
Oh my God in heaven. I was warned about, before we get into the meat of
main character.
Before we get into the what is the word I'm looking for? The things that are weighing on us heavily tonight. Okay. I just have to say, we were warned. I was warned in particular about your baby mama for quite some time. Like, I was warned years ago about her, and I really don't even want to give the kind of narcissistic supply that something like that is looking for. Okay.
They're saying that the only reason we are trolling their chat is I am a narcissist and I am seeking a narcissistic supply, which apparently I can only get from them with their 20 viewers, and most of those viewers were from me. Which is particularly retarded because Isaiah kept saying in the chat the whole time, he was like, you're really going to help our engagement. This is going to be great for the algorithm. You can see it in the chat. Isaiah was saying, you're really helping our engagement, Karlyn. This is going to be great for the algorithm. So it's like, on one hand, they're saying, oh, thank you for trolling my chat. And on the other, they're saying, she is a narcissist looking for narcissistic supply, and I'm just not going to give it to her. Well, you gave it to me the whole fucking stream, Isaiah, you fucking retard. Can't expect better from him. He's black. Our standards have to, we just...
But I just find it amazing that this is what's, like they're trying to make, like, if you look in the comments right now, it's all about like, please, like, just say capitalism. Why can't you why can't you define capitalism?
I think that's a very good question. These four retards want people to believe they're the king anti-communists of the internet. And they're whining and complaining because in their chat, we were asking them to define what capitalism means to the left. Now, I get a lot of people on my channel who ask questions every single day, and sometimes I yell at people. That's very true. I'm a very fiery person. But I promise you, if someone came into my chat and asked me to define capitalism, I'd be like, capitalism to the left is defined as private property ownership. That means your ability to own a home, your ability to own land, your ability to own an apartment rental, you rent out as a landlord, your ability to own intellectual property, your ability to own a private business, whether or not that private business is big or small. Your parental rights are considered to be a form of private property, and some socialists even consider your individual liberties to be a form of private property. All private property will be abolished once capitalism is abolished, which also is a reference to the United States government and the USS, just the U.S. Constitution, which they believe are entirely grounded in capitalism. And what I wouldn't be doing, Isaiah, is saying, I can't believe these people asking me to define capitalism. Can you? It's just so hilarious. These people are asking me to define capitalism. When you guys are claiming to be the king anti-communists of the internet, and you idiots can't even define what the left means by capitalism, you show your true colors to everyone. And then when you whine about it on top of it, they just could have ignored us. There weren't even that many people in the chat. It was just the people who were sitting around watching a movie with me in Discord. They literally could have ignored it. I get more trolls in the chat on an average day. But no. They had to whine and complain about someone saying the word capitalism in their chat.
Like, if you look in the comments right now, it's all about like, please, like, just say capitalism. Why can't you why can't you define capitalism? Capitalism is simply being normal. Okay?
Capitalism is being normal. That is their definition of capitalism. No, Isaiah. No, that's not actually what that means at all. In any way, you guys demonstrating again that you pretend to know about the left and you don't actually know what the fuck you're talking about.
Capitalism is the normal way of things. Capitalism as a word, as a term, was invented by communists.
To mean
the
what?
normal way of doing
to mean
things.
What? No, wrong.
Is capitalism.
Hang on. I'm supposed to have sound effects now in my StreamYard. StreamYard just added a sound effect function. Do I have a buzzer? I need a buzzer. Oh, that's a punch. That's a gunshot. We're disavow, obviously. I just need a buzzer. No, that's an explosion. There we go. Okay, that's good. That's good. So every time these idiots get something wrong, we're gonna do this. Got it. Okay.
So get the fuck out, right? Just go.
I want to propose a truce.
A truce.
James says capitalism. if Karlyn says calorie deficit? We're gonna change. We're gonna change the world here.
That's all we
want.
Again. Oh, you guys didn't hear the sound? Okay. Well, it was booze. We'll have to work on that. So the great intellectuals of the internet want me to say the term calorie deficit, and they all think this is the most hilarious thing in the world. Have any of these people ever looked at themselves in the mirror? Isaiah Carter is I promise you, much fatter than I am. This guy who I've never heard of in the pink shirt is absolutely much fatter than I am. James Lindsay, did anyone see James's boobs at the latest event? He's fatter than I am. Like 3 out of 4 of these people are fatter than I am. And Frank McCormick is just a queer psychopath that's off his meds. That is, you know, just a retard. Like, I mean, I guess naturally skinny, good for him. But that doesn't actually make you an intelligent person there, Frank. But he's so proud of himself. He's so proud of himself. This is all he has.
The normal way of doing things is capitalism. Okay? So get the fuck out, right? Just go.
I want to propose a truce.
A truce.
James says capitalism if Karlyn says calorie deficit.
Calorie deficit. Go.
We're gonna change the world here.
Calorie deficit.
That's all we want. He's considering it. He's like,
He is considering. Look at he's got it in his face.
Calorie deficit. Now define capitalism, James. Bet he still can't do it. Can any? I'll say calorie deficit, calorie deficit, calorie deficit, calorie deficit, calorie deficit. Now you 4 retards have to actually define what the left means by capitalism, and none of y'all actually know what the fuck you're talking about.
It's like
I don't know. I just wish I knew more about her so I can make fun of her, but I don't. I'm not sure what she does.
She's the best teacher about what the left is and what they're doing on the internet. My work far surpassed James years ago, which is funny since he's been doing it about 10 years longer than I have. But I steal James's audience every single day because James isn't even talking about the left anymore. He's only complaining about Nazis.
you know, it's not even worth it.
Yeah, we probably don't have to get into it. I'm sorry.
You're right, Isaiah.
Let's get into this. So, this week has been nuts, been absolutely crazy. And since we are talking about schools, we had another mass shooter last week. Yeah, unfortunately. And then we had, well, let me see, because I should have pulled.
Guys, guess what? The intellectual brain trust of the stream here believes that the Catholic Church shooter was a leftist. I know we're all shocked by this revelation. We're just going to fast forward a little bit because this part gets actually pretty effing boring and nothing was really going on.
You go shoot a school. If we were to look at that...
Blah, 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 blah. We were asking him all sorts of questions the whole time.
Depression and all sorts of different mental disorders.
Boring, boring, boring.
Since the Obama administration.
And since the mainstream of social media. I'm almost to the point right now.
Oh, shit. Oh, we landed on the right spot. Guys, I'm pretty sure this is the spot. James Lindsay actually said, and we're going to clip this, and this is not even an out of context clip. This is actually what he said. James actually said that he believes that the social media reaction to the Catholic Church shooter was actually worse than the shooting. That kind of blows. I was like, yo, this is how you know how fucked up James is about with Twitter. Twitter has absolutely driven James insane. Because if you think people saying mean things on the internet is worse than dead children shot in a church while they were praying? James, you lost the plot. I'm pretty sure this is the spot where he says it. Hang on.
At least 2010, like since the Obama administration,
and since the mainstream of social media. I'm almost to the point right now, I'm almost convinced, like I'm right here at being convinced that humanity isn't designed to survive social media. Like we are not capable of dealing with an immersive online, 24/7 propaganda environment that's fully interactive. Like your best friend is probably repeating the propaganda to you, right? People, you're getting it, it's just so unbelievably toxic and so unbelievably out of control. And it's like, it's like a machine where it gets a little bit off and then it starts wobbling and then it's like flinging pieces off as it wobbles faster and faster and the whole thing falls apart. And it's like, but the machine here is humanity.
Yeah, no, I think Jonathan Haidt agrees with you on that too. I mean, he's been beating that drum with his book, Anxious Generation too. And I think it's been dividing families so much, dividing friends. I've seen it myself, arguing with family and friends because, and it gets more heated than usual, I think, lately. And it's partly because people are getting totally different information, totally different information. So you can't even agree on the facts. You can't agree on, before you can somewhat agree on the facts and then, your interpretation of it. But now the facts are like, have you seen anything that I'm talking about? Nope. And then they'll say, and I can't, I'm usually hammering the left, right? And it's like, I can say that I've seen what the left is because it's all over the place. I've seen it. It's all over legacy media. I watch Real Time with Bill Maher usually to catch up because I like the show and to see what they're talking about.
He watches Real Time with Bill Maher to monitor the left. Guys, did you know that all you need to do to study and track the left is to watch Real Time with Bill Maher? Why the fuck are we wasting so many hours a week watching socialism? Why the fuck are we spending so much time researching these activist groups and tracking these activist groups all over the internet? Why we could just watch Real Time with Bill Maher, guys.
I watch CNN quite a bit actually, just to see how they interpret things, and sometimes even MSNBC. So I am in that, and a lot of things they're saying, they've been saying for, like, as you said, James, like the TDS stuff, they've been saying that since at least 2016, all throughout the Biden administration.
Did Fat Ass Jill stay up late tonight just to watch us? Is that what's going on right now? Let's see. Now, as a reminder, I do have to get up the, she forces me to do this every single time. Fat Ass Jill forces me to do this every single time. Every single time. Yep, there she is. Yep, that's her. Yep. Hang on. Now, when we say Fat Ass Jill, what we mean is this. This is Poetry Painter. This is a woman who has stalked me for 5 years, that's obsessed with me, that never leaves her house, that all she does all the time is watch my streams and stuff like that. That's her. And yup, she is actually watching the stream literally right now. And she's posting about the stream on Twitter literally right now. Oh, she posted in Frank's comments? It's all this woman does. All day, every day, I am the main character in her life. She thinks about nothing but me. Oh, there she is. She is live right now claiming you all secretly want to fuck her. Did I say that? These people lie as easily as they breathe. Would any of us be surprised to know that Jill is Jewish? I mean, it wouldn't shock me. She claims to be Christian, but I'm just saying the woman lies so easily about everything all the time, and she just can't control herself. And I don't know. Maybe she's just a mentally ill person, though. I don't know. I just work here.
By the way, January 6th, they're talking about that like every fucking day for like 2 years at least, and then again in an election year. So for me, it's very frustrating because the people I talk to, they don't know anything I'm bringing up with them, and I'm not listening to MAGA influencers and like those fringe like provocateurs. I'm reading centrist people. I'm seeing things with my own eyeballs, not AI videos. Like I'm not a boomer that
Well, it's
you know,
a good thing we got
and
a
I think
clip of
that's
it,
probably
isn't
what they
it?
think. Like they're probably like, oh, you're just in that algorithm. And yeah, I am in an algorithm that's, you know, critical of the left for sure. But I'm not an idiot. Like I'm not like I'm not like an old uncle or something like that. That's just getting total Russian bot bullshit all day long and believing crazy things. But you're
Wait, she said we're gonna start a cult compound in the woods for our cult where we do drugs. Oh yeah, Jennifer's starting a homestead. We're gonna set up a cult of Jennifer's. We've been talking about this for a while. Jennifer always said Jennifer's buying a homestead. We're gonna have a retreat there. It's gonna be awesome. We're all gonna get to camp out. Jill is just upset because she wants to come to the retreat and she's not fucking invited. And we're not gonna tell her where it is. And she's gonna be desperate to know what's going on.
people are not getting the same facts, and it's driving people nuts. Where the point is, like, I can't even talk to you about this anymore.
Fuck
And
drugs.
because politics are so forefront of our brains, it's hard to talk about anything. Because it's so important to so many people. It's become like a religion in itself.
Let me steer this in a different direction, because I think beyond the obvious mental illness and the psychic attack that social media,
this is where they accuse us of making a psychic attack on them because we're in the chat. Guys, we made a psychic attack on all of them by being in the chat.
the obvious mental illness and the psychic attack that social media and even the events in real life, it's like the social media and the events in real life when they collapse, when they merge and they create a they create the psychic attacks that that have been going on right now. You have people who will normally go to whatever gives them peace. Okay. For Christians, some people will go light up.
No, don't do curses. No curses. Curses. Everything you put out into the universe is going to come back to bite you. Don't put out curses. You don't want that karma. Come on.
A live stream chat and cause a whole bunch of havoc and LMAO and all.
See, like those psychic Nazis who took over the live stream chat.
People who will normally go to whatever gives them peace. Okay. For Christians, some people will go light up a live stream chat and cause a whole bunch of havoc and LMAO and all sorts of stuff, right?
Main character, me again.
And then there will be those who decide to get into the word, that will seek the face of God,
praise Jesus,
or whatever other religion that they might pray to, that they might follow. What's disturbed me is how the left, and even in some cases the right, but we're not talking about them right now. The way the left has attacked praying people.
They've been doing that for a long time too.
The way in which, Democrats still think that this is that these are still the days of the moral majority of the 1980s. You know, when you had guys like Jerry Falwell and Bob Jones and all these other ones who were literally, who were saying and passing along, pretty crazy ideas, right? But in this particular case, the left, and I'm talking about guys like Jacob Fry, the mayor of Minneapolis, one of the weakest fucking people I've ever seen in my life. When he says stuff like this, and I'm going to share it right now. Let's talk about this for a second, because I think this is very important.
They're playing a clip here. I want to get to the other side of the clip, though. I think this is the part where James said the social media reaction was worse.
I hate Jacob Fry. And I don't know what's worse about a guy like that. this earnest affect that he has, where he's weak, this weakness that he cosplays, right? Like, we're talking about a man who is the chief executive of the city of Minneapolis, a man who could literally do what needs to be done at any moment to end the crime, to end the lawlessness, to put away bad guys, and won't do it because he thinks that it's a societal matter. It's something. It's a matter of capitalism, as some would say. Okay, or the fact that this guy mocks Christians, he mocks Catholics, and it's and overall this leftist mocking of religion, where he's like, well, what good are thoughts and prayers gonna do? You've got like these kids were literally praying as they were sitting, as this guy came and shot them. So how dare you?
Yeah,
I don't know what's worse.
I mean,
look what he's doing with his hands. He's doing the woman thing.
Illustrates this idea, kind of in like dialectical psychology, that like two things can be true at the same time, and we don't have to choose. Like, you don't have to choose between thoughts and prayers and like material action. And I think we're caught in this kind of like false dichotomy of like, well, which one are you on? Are you going to do something or your thoughts and prayers? And like, for a guy like that, like, I get what he's saying. Like, he wants like some concrete solutions. He wants action. I may disagree with what that is, but in no way does that mean that people, like the people praying and the people that turn to prayer and God as a source of comfort, as a source of dealing and coping with something this horrific, does that mean that that's off the table for them? Like, they've presented it in this way that like, Christians are just like, they just pray and then they move on. I think there have been a lot of like, from especially conservatives and religious conservatives, I've heard a lot of solutions. They pray, but they also call for like armed guards in schools. And that's something that like, we've talked about like with our organization locally, like out of all the money school districts have, and I don't know, like in this specific case, I mean, I guess, this man was shooting through a window. Would that have stopped it? But like, there are cases where, schools rely on the police department. And by the time they get there and they set up a zone and control and they're assessing it, 15, 20 minutes have gone by and the damage is done.
Exactly.
So I think, that we can balance both of these things. I think this is one of those social media issues that comes up where like we're forced to choose.
Carrie,
but
I didn't even see that. Oh shit.
Issues that comes up where like we're
Carrie Smith in with the comment. It says, FYI, that retarded actively unwoke account in one of Cluster B's many sock puppets. Yes, Carrie. Yes, I was in the chat. Now, what's funny here is it seems as though they have banned me from the chat, so they removed it. But I was chatting in the whole fucking time on the Actively Unwoke account, which is the account that I normally use when I'm just like watching YouTube in this particular browser. And so, yeah, it was me, Carrie. You got me. Oh no. Too bad they were such pussies though and removed all the chats. Why would they do that? If I was just so inconsequential, then why would they literally remove every chat because they're raging fucking pussies? Yeah, all you guys were sock puppets too. They accused all of you of being me at some point. I was like, listen, man, you guys banned my first account. I moved over to the second account and, I wasn't chatting in on any other accounts, but no, all of a sudden, everyone thinks they're me or they think I'm everyone or whatever.
We're forced to choose.
Yeah, everyone is
but
me.
There's probably also some competition from the left. The left views every,
True.
Where you have some people that view everything as a
Everyone
spiritual
is
crisis that can only be addressed through prayer or through something like, well, if we brought God back into school, this wouldn't happen. I don't know if that's true. And then you have people, on the far left that say like, no, the only answer to this is through policy, is through more legislation. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
there's
necessarily...
Sorry, Frank.
No.
Yeah, no, there's a certain thing. I was going to say a sickness. I don't know how provocative I feel at the moment because I'm going to say something kind of heavy in a second.
Here it is.
But
Here it is.
there's a certain sickness that the Democrats have adopted. The thoughts and prayers thing is like a meme, right? It's like this thought terminating cliche they've adopted. And it actually came, a decade or two ago from, some tragedy would happen somewhere, something like a shooting or whatever. And then what would happen is good, God-fearing Americans would fill the comment section around the thing and say thoughts and prayers, trying to indicate that they care, that they're concerned, that they're taking, spiritual action to try to make a difference on the level that they can. Now, here I am, that's Minneapolis, and here I am in East Tennessee, like with some considerable effort. There's in theory something I could maybe do about the Minneapolis situation, but for the most part, I can go on social media and say things and without kind of extraordinary effort. And so the thoughts and prayers thing is like this signal, even if you don't believe the religious and the spiritual side of it, that, they care. And so that the Democrats decided to turn this into a meme where it's like, well, Republicans don't really care. They say thoughts and prayers, but they don't want action. By action, they mean, of course, only things that are their solutions to problems, which in this case certainly would not include hardening schools, would not include empowering the police correctly, would involve taking guns away from people. But this was really the source of that meme. But
they blocked
it's
me.
like
I'm not
it's
in the
like
chat anymore.
going to the doctor and they test your reflexes in your knee. So there's a the doctor hits you with a little rubber triangle hammer in your patellar tendon, and then your foot kicks because your lower leg kicks out because of that reflex. And it's like they see a shooting and they like thoughts and prayers are bad. It's like literally it's almost like they've been conditioned to just say thoughts and prayers in a mocking way. But I don't hate that man. And there's a weird reason. I had this conversation, as it turns out, with Joel Berry, either last night or the night before last. Time all runs together and stretches out in weird ways in the dilation of the propaganda space. But I don't remember which day it was. But I had this conversation, and we were talking about something else. And we're talking about all these guys on social media who, with crosses in their handles and, Christian in their bio, just acting in a vile way, and it's a challenge to look at that and, square, Christianity is a great world religion with tremendous value. And then you see these loudest mouth representatives of it giving probably the worst possible witness that you could imagine on a day-to-day basis. And so I'm talking to Joel about what this is like. He's talking about what it's like from his perspective as a Christian man, and I'm talking about what it's like as from my perspective. I think I describe myself as something like somebody outside the faith, but very close to it and warm to it. And so here I am having this conversation with him, and then I can't get this scene. This hits me all the time. So in the movie we made, the Beneath Sheep's Clothing film we made a year or so ago, we've got this scene. So we've got this Russian guy, I can't say his last name, Timothy, and it starts with a CH. He's a great guy. He's bigger than you, Isaiah. He is a very large man and has the biggest hands I've ever seen on a human being.
A very large
He's like
man.
the sweetest man in the
Say
world.
A very
And so this guy's
large
story,
man.
roughly, he was a member of a family of 7 who was being persecuted religiously by the Soviet Union in the later years of the Soviet Union. He's not that old. But he and his family end up getting sent off to Siberia, like they're like KGB wanted, and the KGB had been surveillance on their home. All their neighbors were instructed at any time, they have to document and report literally anybody who comes or goes to their house. The KGB would show up and like trash their house and try to find anything. Like they'd tear apart their pillows and their mattresses and try to find hidden Bible verses and stuff. And so they could destroy them as propaganda. And so he has this really moving scene in Beneath Sheep's Clothing where he says, in his, kind of strange Russian accent, which gives it that, eerie feeling when you listen to it, because it's real. And he's like, but I'm not going to imitate his accent, but I'm going to kind of follow the wording, which I can't do exactly, but it's pretty close to we did not get angry at the government. We did not hate the government because with the word, meaning the Bible, with the word, we take it like it is. Jesus says, they will listen to me, they will listen to you, they will persecute me, they will persecute you. So we did not get angry at the government for persecuting us because they did not know God. And I just see Mayor Fry and I think he doesn't know God. There's nothing to be mad at. There's only something to pity. And he says things like that because he doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it. Because he's in.
See, I was barely paying attention to what they said on this stream, honestly, because we were having so much fun in the chat, and I was trying to watch a movie at the same time, and so I didn't actually really listen to what James was saying, but James is literally still pandering to the fucking Christians. You know what? This must be one of the things that burns James the most about me, because James literally built his business on pandering to Christians. I know that because his stepdaughter told me that explicitly when we were chatting. I haven't talked to her in a while. I hope she's well. She's a great girl, all that stuff. But she told me explicitly James built the majority of his business on pandering to Christians, on working with Christians, on going to Christian churches and giving talks to Christians, and then fucking the moms after the fact because James forced his wife to be in an open marriage that she didn't want to be in so that he could fuck his groupies on the road. That's another thing that came from the stepdaughter, by the way. That's all public information. James doesn't like people knowing about that, but it's absolutely the truth. Anyway, I bring that up because I think one of the things that maybe might burn James the most about me is I literally tell the Christians to fuck off all the time. I'm like proactively being full on, Jesus is a Jewish psyop, bro. Christianity is a Jewish psyop. I'm literally telling all the Christians to their face that I think their religion is completely false and built on a lie. And I'm doing it openly and brazenly. And I'm still going on shows with the Catholic priest because Father Matigue is awesome. And I receive no blowback for going against the Christians. Because, hey, bye, we ban people who announce their departure because they're butthurt and having feelings about it. Bye, bye, you're not welcome back, bye. But my point is, when James started shitting on Christians publicly, like over a year ago, he lost apparently all of his business because he built his entire business pandering to Christians, whereas I literally never pandered to Christians my entire life. And not only am I doing that, I'm also telling them to basically, like, your religion is fake. Now, listen, if you're a Christian, I don't personally care if you practice Christianity. It doesn't make any difference to me. You are allowed to believe fake things. People believe fake things all the time. You guys are allowed to be Christians, but I didn't build my business on pandering to you is the point that I'm making. Okay? I'm not a Christian. I've never been a Christian. Everyone knows this. If you want to be a Christian, that's fine. But my point is that James lost a lot of money when he started openly and brazenly shitting on Christians. And I just never had that problem because it wasn't how I built my business. Tough, Jimmy. Too bad, so sad.
This Democrat meme complex where the answer is always some stupid, backwards, wrong Democratic policy thing.
Second Amendment
system.
Or anti-Second Amendment stuff.
Yeah,
Anti-Second Amendment stuff. Like it's like I said, it's like the reflex hammer. Whoops, school shooting, whack, hit the knee. Thoughts and prayers is bad. We need action. Take everybody's guns away. It's like you pulled a string on the little guy and let it go, and that's what they say. And it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting soft in my old age.
Well,
but no, you're right, James.
That is because the Groypers are butthurt that I'm friends with Adam Green. And listen, man, I've said this a million times. I was very clear the entire time I was interacting with Nick and the Groypers. I am not a Christian. And guess what? Nick and the Groypers shit on my spiritual beliefs all the time. But I had to keep my mouth shut. And it's like I wasn't allowed to say fuck off anything about Christianity, but they were allowed to literally shit on my beliefs like all the effing time. That to me is unfair. I don't care if people are Christians. I don't care if people are Catholics. If it works for you, it's worked for you. It's none of my business. But not only are you shitting on my spiritual beliefs all the time, but at the same time, you're telling me that I can't voice my honest opinions about Christianity? Fuck off. I like Adam Green. I agree with Adam Green. I think his work is excellent. I think his analysis is completely correct. If you want to believe a Jewish psyop, that's your business, but I'm allowed to say what I think on the internet. And if the Groypers don't like it, I don't really care. I view this as completely separate from supporting Nick, but now I can't even support Nick anymore because literally every time I support Nick or say anything about Nick, I've got Groypers in my replies like insulting me. And so you know what? If you guys don't want me supporting Nick, fine. But I personally have no problem with Nick, and let's just be very clear about it. It's the Groypers that have made it impossible for me to support him. It's not that I personally dislike Nick. I adore Nick. And I don't care that we disagree on the Catholic thing. He's allowed to be a Catholic. He's allowed to live his life however he wants. He's allowed to argue for Catholic values in the country. But I can't even say something nice about him because if I do on Twitter, the Groypers are going to be shitting on me in my replies. And that's not fucking cool. Whatever.
No, you're right. I think, look, the left has been rejecting religion for a while, and I think to their detriment. I just heard from Dr. David DeSteno, a psychologist on Huberman's Lab.
I didn't see. I honestly haven't been watching Nick because it really kind of burns me that this is the God's honest truth. I haven't really been watching Nick. Not that, again, like, Nick is having so much success right now. Good for him. I'm nothing but happy for him. I think his message needs to get out there. I haven't been watching him because I can't say anything about him publicly because every time I do, I get shit on by Groypers all over the place. And listen, I'm not going to whine and complain like James is, like, oh no, the Groypers are in my replies. It's just one of those things that's annoying, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have no problem blocking the Groypers and just be done with it. I blocked Brittany and Mio the other day. Those two can go fuck themselves as well. But it's just like, there's no incentive for me to engage with Nick's content right now, and part of me is really pissed off about that.
You guys know who he is. He said epidemiological, I can't even say his word for some reason right now. Data show that people who engage with religion not just say, I believe in God, but actually engage with faith. Over a 15 and 20-year period, people who believe in God like this and actually engage in their faith, it says it cuts all-cause mortality by 30%, cuts death due to cancer and cardiovascular disease by 25%, reduces anxiety.
Bro, you can argue whatever you want. That doesn't mean I'm going to agree with you. You can argue whatever you want, though. It doesn't make a difference.
Anxiety and depression, increases people's sense of meaning and feeling that their life is flourishing. Now, we've obviously become quite an atheist culture in America and the West, especially, and it's a lot of it's from the leftist cultural dominance, right? And hyper rationality, like just thinking like everything could be figured out through science, and if it's no proof of it, then why are you believing it? It's stupid. We are not that kind of, we are an animal that loves, we are a spiritual animal. We really are. Like, across the world, throughout history, it gives us great comfort, great sense of community, great sense of meaning to have a spiritual community and actually doing rituals, religious rituals. Like, there's a lot of data about this, and I don't think it's any coincidence that we've only been starting to see school shootings and mass shootings in 1997, 98, really? Like Columbine, I think, was the first major one.
Yeah, Columbine was the first big one.
People always had guns in this country. We've always had the Second Amendment. Maybe we didn't have AR-15s or whatever, but we had handguns, we had shotguns. You can bring a shotgun to school or a handgun to school and kill a couple people. Why is this happening recently? Why is this happening in the last 20, 27 years, 28 years?
They definitely got rid of my account because it's just not showing up at all. And I know Isaiah was replying to me here. Look at this. Isaiah says in the chat, can you guys see this? He says in the chat down here, you raiders all realize you're in a cult and being manipulated, right? Oh, wait, that's right. Y'all know and don't care. Look at that. Beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm taking a picture of that. Do you guys know you're all in a cult? Do you guys know you're all literally, hang on. You're all literally in a cult right now, according to Isaiah Carter. How do you guys feel about being in a cult? How do you guys feel about me being your dear leader in your cult? Yeah, is everyone okay with it? Now I'm a horrible cult leader, though, because I don't really tell people to do anything, and I don't even have minions to do my bidding. I mean, people do stuff, but it's just like I'm not telling them to do stuff, and people can leave my cult. Like, I feel like, Yeah, you didn't know that, Mitchell? Yeah, you're in a cult, bro. The cult. It's like the Ohio State University, the cult. Not just any cult, the cult. I mean, the cult shows primary source evidence. Not a lot of cults do that. I mean, I know. I told you I suck at running a cult. Yeah, I know. You're gonna do. You do whatever I want you to do, don't you? You do whatever. Like this music can. You're so good to me, baby. You're so good. You're so good. Yo, I know, right? I know. Yeah, it's like this is what I was saying. This is one of the things I was saying in the chat. I got a whole bunch of screenshots of me saying this in the chat too. One of the things I said is this stream that these 4 morons did, it was so much more boring than socialism. It's like, bro, all we do is watch socialism. That's it. We watch socialism on the internet, and somehow the socialism that we spent hours and hours and hours a week watching was way more entertaining than whatever the fuck these guys were talking about. I only joined because this community is called the cult. Exactly. I mean, some people see being in a cult as being a virtue. I long for the day Adam Green can debate with Jay Dyer and make a fool. Yeah, that would be pretty great. People were telling James to debate. They were telling James to debate Jay Dyer in the chat as well. Yep, all hail me. Everyone bend down, kiss my feet. Thank you.
You know, that's the question that needs to be asked, right? And like, I'm not saying that I think there should be some mental health.
Yes, we all drink
especially
ale
for, you know,
in the
people who are
cult.
transgender as well. People who are transgender because they usually have some mental health issues, right? So there's definitely some things that you might be able to do. I'm not saying like you can't talk about Second Amendment at all, or you can't talk about like, you know, common sense gun regulations or something.
There was another point where they talked about me again.
Certainly, this is a new thing that's going on where we have lost. You know, we've lost our sense of community, our sense of decency. I don't know. The fringes of our society are going really crazy, like spiritually crazy. I think it's not just mentally crazy, and it's leading to people thinking it's a good idea to kill kids in school, to kill little kids in school with demonic manifestos. Like it's disgusting.
Wait, Carrie replied to Isaiah telling everyone they were in a cult? Oh, so here's what happened. Let me show you this to you guys. Actually, let me just show you the screenshot so you guys can actually see this. We'll make it bigger. Okay. So remember, they deleted my chat so you can't see me, but I'll tell you what happened. So Isaiah Carter was trying to tell everyone, and again, by everyone, there were maybe a dozen people there because we were hanging around at my movie night, and so it was like people at movie night were also kind of like in the chat. So they're freaking the fuck out over the fact that there are maybe a dozen people in the chat that are saying things that they don't like. That's it. Again, Isaiah, you're supposed to be a man, bro. I have more than a dozen people in my chat saying things that I don't like literally every single day of the week, and you can't handle it for one little stream. All we were doing was asking questions. It wasn't even that big of a deal. And so Isaiah is so fucking freaked out by a dozen people in his chat. He's like, all of you people realize that you are in a cult and you're being manipulated. How were they being manipulated? I didn't even know this stream was happening tonight. Master Shake is the one that told me this stream was fucking happening. I didn't even know you guys were talking. I was informed about it by Master Shake. So how the fuck did I manipulate anything? Oh, wait. That's right. Y'all know. And you don't care. And then I said something to the effect of, no, we don't care. And then Isaiah responded to me, and you're proud, and you're as proud as shit of yourself, aren't you? And I said, yes. Yes, I am. Yup. I am very proud of my work. I'm very proud of my community. I am very proud that I built something that none of y'all have built. I'm very proud that while you guys are reading on Twitter all day, every day, I actually did something real and tangible in the world and built a community of people that actually try to do stuff and document situations and archive information and research and do all this stuff that none of y'all even know how to do. Very proud. Very. And then Carrie responds down here. Well, I like this too. I got to give a shout out to Giga Chat here. I think Karlyn is insane, but she knows the left. Yup. Newsfist, who is one of ours, said, have you perhaps developed a critical consciousness that gives you the special quality of realizing all your opponents are in a cult? And then Carrie chimes in, Isaiah, I can't see what you're replying to, but I don't have to. And no, they don't realize they're in a cult until they try to leave it. And she comes after them. Ask the people who've left. Carrie seems to think that that I attack every single person who leaves my audience ever. Carrie, I assure you, there have been many people that leave my audience that I never think of again. What Carrie is talking about are her friends who not only left, wait, can we hinge into reality for a second, Carrie? What Carrie is talking about are people who tried to steal from me, four former members of my community who tried to steal from me, who took things that I was working on and were going to take them and try to manipulate them to make it seem like they did it when they didn't. They stole my shit. They formed a little group on the side. I found out about it. I exposed all their asses. I said, you're not stealing my shit today, motherfuckers. And then they freaked out and said, she's attacking us because we tried to leave. No. It wasn't because they tried to leave. It was because they stole my shit and then spent the next several years, actually 2 years, 2 fucking years, lying about me, smearing me, engaging in massive defamation campaigns against me, all because they tried to steal my shit and steal my ideas and take my intellectual property. And I found out about it, and I called their asses on the carpet, and I said, you ain't taking shit from me. You can go fuck yourselves. And then I outworked all of them. I outworked all of them over and over and over and over and over again by myself, which is why none of them are doing anything today. Carrie Smith isn't doing anything today. Mike Harlow isn't doing anything today. The narcissist queen from England is doing fucking nothing today. He's not even on the internet anymore. That kid that was on the school board, he's doing nothing today. Deb Philman sure as shit isn't doing anything today. Did I miss anyone? Oh, that science girl. The science girl, she disappeared out of nowhere. She never did anything anyway. Literally every single person who tried to steal my shit ended up becoming completely irrelevant and basically disappearing off the face of the internet. And in the meantime, I took my ideas because they were mine, and I implemented them, and I built them, and I built my community, and I wrote several books, and I teach more people about what the left is doing than all of these fucking people combined. And that is why to this day, because Carrie Smith was never able to build what I was able to build because she spent so much time being obsessed with me. That is why to this day, these retards obsess about me all the time. It has been 5 years since Carrie Smith came out and said, I was a former woke social justice warrior, and I left the left, and I can deprogram people from the left. She's been doing this shit for 5 years. She has no book. She has a couple of people who watch her live streams. She's not able to make a living doing content on the internet. No one really gives a flying fuck about her story anymore because it's the same story over and over and over again. I evolved in the last 5 years. I expanded my offering. I became an expert in something literally no one else is an expert in. I have produced more independent journalism exposing the left than pretty much any other independent journalist in the country. I have never taken political backing to do it. I've always been independently funded. Carrie hasn't produced shit. She hasn't evolved in her philosophy. Her story hasn't even changed from what it was 5 years ago. Oh, they're in a cult. Just ask all the people who left how they were attacked. Yeah, they were attacked for stealing my shit, which I will attack anyone who tries to steal from me ever. And then they couldn't make it on their own and they all failed. Too bad, so sad. Damn, that felt good. That was a good rant. That was a real good rant. I've been holding on to that one for a while, obviously.
And it's not just guns, guys. Like let's be frank about this.
People are searching for meaning. That
Yes.
is the fundamental, I think, issue. People are searching for meaning, and in that vacuum of meaning,
Mhm.
There have been a lot of bad ideologies and bad actors that have been exploiting people. You know, you look in the comment section, you have people that promise the answers. I will teach you about the left in a way no one else will. I will bring you in. I will equip you the way no one else can.
Me.
I'll give you purpose to fight it. Just give me your money and give me your time and your energy.
In fact, Frank, the vast majority of my content is free. 90% of my content is free. Spy streams are usually supporter only because it makes it easier to execute them. Obviously, if someone wants to buy a book from me, they can buy a book from me. That costs money. Obviously, I'm not going to give away my merchandise for free. It costs me money to make the merchandise. If you want a t-shirt, you got to pay for a t-shirt. It's the way it goes. I stream 6 days a week. 6 days a week for hours. Completely free on the internet. I have developed not one, but 2 on-demand classes that people can take, filled with leftist clips from their own trainings to show people exactly what they're talking about. I have a massive archive that I'm building out. Everything I'm doing with my nonprofit is free and available to the public. No one has to pay me money unless they value my work. I'm just very lucky and blessed that thousands of people happen to value my work. And that people like Frank McCormick have never done anything and they have no idea how to build what I built. So they just spend years of their life complaining about me and calling me fat and obsessing about me and bah. We do actually have grape Kool-Aid. We actually do. But Bot even used to have a cult grape Kool-Aid t-shirt. So yes, you will get your grape Kool-Aid in the cult. 100%. And if you want to find my content for free, guys, you can head over to my Substack. That is Karlyn, KARLYN.substack.com. This is where you can find all my write-ups of the far left. This is where I will do my breakdowns. We got the Woke 101 section teaching you basic information. We got the Woke Mind section talking about their psychology. I have a massive archive of clips on this channel so you can see exactly what the left is doing. If you go to the How to Speak Socialist section, you can access those classes that I talked about earlier. The re-education class is a 90-minute basic introduction class. The 4-hour How to Speak Socialist on-demand masterclass, both of which are available for free anytime people want to watch them, goes into much more depth about all of the different concepts. So no one's got to pay me money for anything. You don't want to pay me money? You don't have to. But if you want me to keep doing this stuff, someone's got to pay for it because I spend all my time doing it. So if you appreciate the work I do, the best way to support my work is on the Substack, where you can sign up for $8 a month, $80 a year, and I really appreciate it. Imagine thinking, honestly, that there's anything wrong with people paying for content on the internet.
Bad ideologies and bad actors that have been exploiting people. You know, you look in the comment section, you have people that promise the answers. I will teach you about the left in a way no one else will. I will bring you in. I will equip you the way no one else can. I'll give you purpose to fight it. Yep. Just give me your money and give me your time and your energy. And it's a dead end. I think, you know.
Have I ever forced anyone to volunteer for me? Reagan's in the chat. Reagan does a fuck ton of volunteering, by the way. Reagan makes clips. Reagan does a lot of research. Bot does a ton of research. Like, Nick is doing a ton. Like, Mizakan does a fuck ton of work reading books and breaking them down. Have I ever put a gun to anyone's head and forced anyone to do that? I don't even ask them to do it most of the time. They can testify on their... I don't even fucking ask them to do it. They do it because once you get into my work, you realize that it is different from what these assholes have sold you, that no one is doing what I'm doing, and that it's actually important and valuable. Reagan can quit whatever she wants. It wouldn't be a big deal. Average person has gone undercover at events. Average person has gone undercover at events many times to get propaganda for us. Nick does research all the time. Maybe, Frank, I know this is hard to believe because you don't know how to do this on the internet. Maybe, Frank, we just built a community where we like the same topics and we like researching and investigating this. Did you ever think of that? Did you ever think that there might just be a group of people on the internet who cares about what the real far left is and is interested in the topic, and we like hanging out with each other and doing stuff? Dragon Balls. So Frank just shat on James Lindsay, who promises to help equip people to fight the far left if they give new discourses and James money. Yeah, I'm sorry. James has actually more ways you can give him money than I do. Is James allowed to ask for money, Frank? Or is it just me that's not allowed to ask for money? Oh, okay, got it. Rules for thee, but not for me, huh, motherfucker?
Look at the kind of psychedelic renaissance that's going on in America today. People are craving meaning, and I'm not against that. I've actually done them myself through a form of therapy, and
Me too.
people are and it was profound for me. And the reason I bring that up is because people are looking for ways to reconnect with, I think, what modern society has severed, that spiritual connection.
Exactly right.
And when I won't go too much into it, but when I did it, that was the feeling I had, is it made me kind of reevaluate everything. It reconnected me to something I felt was severed.
Yes.
And I'm all for, I think we need really maybe some radical ways to look at how to reintegrate people into their spiritual lives. That's just a part of our DNA.
It's a dimension that you can't, you especially if you're super rational. I was an atheist most of my adult life. If you need evidence for everything the whole way around, like you probably won't experience it. Like if you're just like, well, show me evidence. And if you look at religions themselves, religions have a lot of silly lessons, stories that probably aren't true, all that, right?
You know what? This is actually, I think, maybe where I pieced out. I may stick around for a little while. Oh! As Isaiah, you guys can see this, right? Isaiah's yelling in the chat at me
the
here.
Same exact dynamic is a bunch of people despairing that they're about to lose their society and freaking out, and they live in fear, and they live in despair, and they live in, this panic. And
hang on, I'm rewinding this. I want to listen to James talk.
People are going nuts. What it does for people is it has massive effects in 3 domains.
Oh, hang on. We may have. I'm still looking for this part where James said what happened on social media was worse than the shooting.
I've experienced it elsewhere as well since then, just in normal life. I think love is one of them. Love for kids, love for your romance, like especially when you fall in love, it's very profound, very deep, something that's binding you together, right? And religion does that to a degree in big communities, sometimes entire nations. Like you see that with Islam. You see people
that's right.
spinning around
Joe
Mecca, right? And all those movements and synchronous movements create a hive switch, hive mind. Jonathan Haidt talks about in the Righteous Mind, and that makes people feel like they're one. That makes them feel transcendent. That makes them that helps quite a bit if you're a country. That helps quite a bit if you're a tribe ready for war potentially. So there's negative aspects, there's positive aspects to it. You definitely want to, if you are going to war with people, and especially if it's like a foot war, you definitely would like to have everybody believe in a religion and feel like they're all together, they're all one. So, but this is something that's, if you didn't experience this, you are like, what are you talking about? Like, you guys are making stuff up. You are imagining things. I don't believe in silly superstitions. That's how I felt. And then I experienced it through psilocybin. And I was like, oh man, this is exactly what people were talking about. It's what the prophets were talking about. This is what some religious leaders are talking about. I could feel like I've kind of dipped my...
How funny. This guy's talking about doing mushrooms. Fat ass Jill and her friends give me shit all the time for having done psychedelics. They say this all the time. They accuse me of being on drugs all the time. By the way, I haven't done mushrooms in like 2 years, at least. I think 2022, maybe 3 years. I don't know. The last time I did mushrooms, I thought I was going to die, and it kind of traumatized me. Like, I really thought I was going to die, and so I haven't done it again since. Hey, we salute you and your work in the chat today. Have a good one.
My toe into heaven. That's what you really feel like. And I'm not a part of any religion. I was raised a Catholic. I'm still not a part of any religion, but I like religion now. Like, I think for the most part, people need it. It's good. I might join a church one day again, even though I don't believe half of it or most of it. It's because it's a religious community. It's transcendent. You go to church every Sunday, and you remember, like, you have a moment of elevation for an hour or two, like, with people, and everybody feels good about themselves, and everybody's like, yeah, I'm gonna do well, I'm gonna do better this week. We don't have that shit anymore for the most part, unless you're in a religious community, and that's a big part of what we're losing.
That's real. With the psychology of religion, you guys have hit on two of the three things, it turns out. If you read the psychology of religion, which tries to take, obviously it's psychology, so it tries to take a naturalistic and empirical approach. Why are people religious? What does it do for people, right? Whether it's true or not, it could be all true, it could be all false, it could be anywhere in between, it doesn't matter. What is it doing on like the psychological and sociological level? And the answers is basically what it does for people is it has massive effects in three domains of life. One of those is meaning making, which you guys talked a lot about. One of those is community, which you talked a lot about. I think one of the best things about church, and maybe you should go to church actually, Chavez. Like,
yeah, that's why I said I think I'm probably
one of the best things, in my opinion, about church is that you have a intentional community that meets regularly with the intention of living a better life and helping each other do so.
Indeed.
That's not a small thing. It's not just community. It's not a bowling club, which is also fun, and we should probably have those again. But it's
club.
People intentionally getting together in order to live better lives and help keep.
Okay, this is where it honestly gets kind of boring, and I kind of tuned out after a while. And I got to do a shout out. Someone has a Dr. Karlyn was right account in the chat too. That was pretty funny. So anyway, they seethed about me, I think, a couple other times, but it's 2 a.m. and maybe that's enough. Maybe that I pieced out at some point because I just didn't care anymore. I just didn't care anymore. I was in the chat going, this is so boring. These men are so boring. But Isaiah was very excited because he thought this was going to be great for this video because we were helping the algorithm. And I'm going to put the link in the chat. I just want people to know, I highly encourage everyone to go watch the full video so that you can see these midwit morons in all of their glory. I think this whole live stream did wonders for all their credibility, since it seems their most intellectual argument is you're fat. They can't answer any real questions. They block people in the chat trying to ask them questions. They freak out when a couple of people are saying things they don't like. I think that everyone gets the idea of what this is, right? And I just have to say, they're up to 173 views. That's really great. Excellent work, Isaiah. You have 150,000 Twitter followers and you can't get more than 200 views on a video? Dang, it's almost like Twitter numbers don't actually translate to anything in real life. But I just want to say, tonight was definitely confirmation for me that that in the war with James, I won. I won decidedly. I won the war with James so resoundingly that I don't even have to try to trigger them. I wasn't even thinking about James. I haven't been interacting with any of these morons as much as like humanly possible for months and months and months because, quite frankly, I have too much other shit to do. Unlike James, I actually still do journalism. Unlike James, I teach 6 days a week on live streams. Unlike James, I'm still creating clips to teach people about the left. Unlike James, I'm working on my 5th book of the year currently. Unlike James, I started a nonprofit to actually build out an archive of leftist content to support research into what the left is doing and the evolution of these ideologies so we can better understand our enemy. Unlike James, I have a list of projects 1.5 miles fucking long, all designed around teaching people about what the far left is using primary source evidence that none of these idiots that were on this stream have ever even bothered to look at. So you'll have to excuse me if I don't spend all my time worrying about whatever fucking drama they're in on Twitter on any given day because they're obsessed with Nazis. I may not be a perfect person, and that's very true, but no one who is being intellectually honest can deny that I produce more anti-communism content than anyone on the internet. And it's not even close. And my work shot way past James's work years ago. And anyone who actually takes the time to look at it will see that. And so, Jimmy, I will keep picking off The high IQ members of your audience, bro. The ones that are completely fucking fed up with you talking about Nazis and fascists all day, every day, and literally just want to learn about the left. Because guess what? I actually have a community of people where we are obsessed with the left, where we do stuff around the left all the time. My work is undeniable. And by the way, that's why James blocked me, and that's why James blocked every member of my community that ever went into his replies, because he knows that if his audience sees my work, it's game fucking over. So, let's keep going, guys. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. But it is 2 a.m., so I'm going to go to bed. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Have a good one. We'll see you soon.
How are you feeling? How long have you been here?
3 months, May 17th.
And what brought you?
That's difficult to answer.
people has eventually resulted in your being here in the hospital.
That's difficult to answer.